There are currently two ways to search for Sophia courses electronically. The first one is known as PRISM, an acronym for Personal Records and Information for St. Mary's. The second one, which is actually a more powerful search tool, makes use of reporting software called Argos. Let's start with PRISM. To search on PRISM, first go to this web page and select Class Schedule. Search by Term drop-down. So let's choose Fall of 2015, and then click Submit. You can now select any Sophia attribute from LO1, LO2, or LO3. For any individual search of all the classes at the college being offered during that term with that attribute, select All at the top. Choose the attribute and then Submit. If you are interested in particular departments, then you can select those as well. Whenever you do a new search, be sure to refresh your browser first. You are also able to select more than one Sophia attribute by command-clicking on a Mac or control-clicking on a PC. But understand that doing so on PRISM does not give you all of the courses with both those attributes. Argos does allow you to search like this, and we'll get to that in a minute. So understand that clicking on more than one Sophia attribute in PRISM will give you every course that has one or the other of these attributes, but not necessarily both of them. That's the limitation of a Sophia search on PRISM. So for example, if we search for LO1 Humanities Literature courses and LO2 Women's Voices courses, it will return every literature course and every Women's Voices course, of which just some in this list will have both attributes. But you actually need to scroll through the results and find them on your own. So the first several of the 30+ courses that come up when we select Literature and Women's Voices are only Women's Voices courses. And then you get several that are only Literature. It's only when we get down to English Literature 109W, St. Mary's Women, that you have both. So while PRISM does a great job for individual courses or individual Sophia attributes, it's less effective when looking for particular combinations. That takes us to Argos. This URL will take you to the registrar's homepage. There you'll see some information about logging into the Argos search tool. You will need to enter the login information that's listed here. Username is public and password is St. Mary's, all one word. You'll now be taken to this screen. Click on SMC Sophia Course Search. If you are accessing this tool from off campus, however, you may first be taken to this screen. You will need to click on Public in the left column. Argos has a more intuitive interface than PRISM and more functionality. As with PRISM, you can select one Sophia attribute and get a list of all the other courses with that attribute. If you truly want all the other courses, then select something in one array and then any and any in the other two. That gives you every course with what you selected, regardless of what other attributes it has. So for example, if we select Literature and any, you'll see 19 courses come up. If you want something that has only one particular attribute, then select what you want and then none and none in the other two. So if we want literature courses that have no LO2 or LO3 attributes, this is what we'd select. And there are 7 courses like that. In either case, you can then click on any course for additional information such as the time, instructor, and number of open spaces. But where Argos is most handy is in selecting combinations of attributes. So for example, if we select LO1 Literature and LO2 Women's Voices and click on View Courses, then we will get 4 courses, starting with St. Mary's Women, that have both of those attributes, which is what we weren't able to do in PRISM when we got all literature courses and all women's voices courses, but not all literature and women's voices courses, which is what Argos is giving us now. If we select literature in LO1 and women's voices in LO2, we can select one of 3 things in the third array. First, we can select none, as we did above. That gave us courses that have only LO1 literature and LO2 women's voices and no LO3 attribute. Or we can select any. If we select any, we'll get every course with an LO1 literature and an LO2 women's voices, along with any combination of LO3s. When we do this, we get one more course for a total of 5. You may need to expand the view by sliding the last column over to see the LO3 attribute of, in this case, Global Learning A for MLTS 135. Or finally, we can select one or more LO3s. So for example, if you want to find any Social Responsibility A courses, which are also academic experiential learning, Control-click on a Mac or right-click on a PC, those 2 attributes, to see the 3 courses offered that have at least both of them. So basically, where the best PRISM can do is put what amounts to an OR between these attributes, literature or women's voices, or social responsibility, Argos will put an and tell you how many courses have literature and women's voices and social responsibility. In that way, it can be much more helpful than PRISM. Thanks for watching.